the drive and honor to get here. Some of our high school students in our Battle Buddies Club were very busy yesterday setting up many flags and patriotic signs to thank and honor our guests for their service. We would ask that everyone please rise now, if you are able, for the Honor Guard presentation of colors for the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Mrs. Rouchett, and our Cedar Crest High School Concert Choir, and also thank you to Mr. Dalbert and the Cedar Crest Middle School Falcon Ensemble for the music, the patriotic music that we were enjoying as everyone entered this morning. We will hear again from our concert choir after breakfast. Everyone can please be seated too. You're certainly welcome. For the breakfast part of our program, you will be served at your tables today. We will have students from our middle school student council, members of the Cedar Crest High School Battle Buddies Club, as well as district administrators who will be serving you at your tables. Another item of importance is that restrooms are located outside the double doors at the back of the room and down the hallway. That is back straight this way, is behind the clock, straight down that hallway, and that is where restrooms are located on the left-hand side. We ask that you also please take notice of the veterans projects and the artwork in the windows of the hallway. These are created by Cedar Crest Middle School students in Mr. Gundry's classes to welcome and honor our veterans and military student families. Please enjoy your breakfast, and our program will begin following breakfast at approximately 8:45 a.m. Once again, thank you for being here.
In 2000, what you call this is a third year. I was in CAV when I was in Iraq. First CAV.
They have a horse on there. I know that one.
I got that hat. I got that combat patch too. Apple, this one, first division. I got first, third, fourth.
Did you say hi to him? You walked over and got you to turn around. My name. They're waiting for one more to go to the girl before they even pick this. No, they're going right.
When y'all have trials, when you get chosen,
They're still waiting for one more to go, and then they'll I have no idea anything when it comes to basketball. None whatsoever. No more point. But I was like, maybe I can help out a lot. When it comes to volleyball, it's either one of them gets that at all. I know, I said I approved it.
Snotty's iPhone. Noah's iPhone. What is your airdrop code? It's not coming up.
Comments and recognition.
Wait, which one do you have? iPhone 13? Oh, hey, there's your house, bro. Alright, I'm
What's that?
Bro, but I hope it's not some random person. That's fine. Right, my food. Let's have like
Good morning once again.
this much room.
I hope that everyone enjoyed your breakfast this morning, as well as the service that you did have. I do need to begin, first off, by just thanking you for your service and also for your presence here today. What a privilege it is to be able to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance with you. What a privilege it is to be able to be here and stand for our national anthem. And what a privilege it is today to be here to honor you and to celebrate our past, our present, and our future. You know, I often think on Veterans Day, those words of President Reagan that reminded us that freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. And that's why Veterans Day is truly one of the most important days of the school year that we recognize here in the Cornwall-Lebanon School District, this passing down from generation to generation. I'd also like to thank and just recognize my father who is here today, United States Army, for passing down those values to me. So thank you for being here. You know, facts are important, and we can teach our students about the facts about Veterans Day. We can teach that Veterans Day has its origins at the end of World War I, when at the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, the fighting between the Allies and Germany ended with the signing of an agreement to cease hostilities. And facts are good things to know. But today is about much more than facts. Today, we have the opportunity to show our thanks, to be grateful for our freedoms, and to pass on the importance of these values to our students. If only we could have our nearly 5,000 students in the Cornwall-Lebanon School District here with us today. Due to space, obviously, we cannot. That's why we're live streaming this program, and this is being made available for all of our students to either view today or to be archived so that they can use it in their classrooms. So again, thank you for being here. You know, there's much discussion about what should be taught in public schools today. A lot of discussion in this country. Well, teaching gratitude for the service, the sacrifice of our veterans, the cost and value of freedom should be a priority in every single school district in this country. Sacrifice, service, the cost and value of freedom. These are the most important lessons that we teach here at Cornwall-Lebanon. Thank you once again for joining us as we honor you and we educate our next generation with this program here today. So thank you for that. Now, I would like to take a few minutes to thank some people who made this morning's breakfast possible. I'd like to thank Mrs. Emily Rodriguez, Ms. Tina Eisman, and our middle school cafeteria staff. If we could give them a round of applause, all their efforts and what they're doing today. And as you can see, when you come into our campus on a regular school day, it's a very, very busy place. So we're very grateful to our district maintenance, our school police officers, all the assistants with parking, our custodial and maintenance staff, Mrs. Bolts, Mr. Newen, for all the setup and the maintenance of our facility. If we could give them a round of applause, too. Thank you. We have a number of office staff, Mrs. Barrier, Mrs. Doan, Mrs. Dunsworth, Ms. Hackman, Ms. Chrissinger, Mrs. Mertz, Mrs. Nazarchuk, Mrs. Yoakum, who out of their day, their busy days here, took the responsibility for the setup and the decorations. So if we could give them a big thank you as well. I'd also like to thank here down in the front, under the direction of Mr. Hassler, our broadcast video students who are here with us today. They are live streaming right now and be creating a video that will be archived and shared across the district for our teachers to use. So thank you very much for being here and for participating in this today as well. And I also need to recognize Mrs. Rodkey, Mr. Wabdilla, the advisors for our middle school student council. These are the students who are greeting and serving you today, and they will also get to help with cleanup. So if we can give them a big thank you as well. Very privileged to have some special guests and veterans to welcome today. And these include, I believe they are here somewhere in the room, Mrs. Joellen Litz, County Commissioner. Mr. Mike Kuhn, County Commissioner. We have our Cornwall-Lebanon School Board President, Mrs. Ruth Ann Schlegel. School Director, Mrs. Susan Diefenbach. Mr. Jeff Snyder, a veteran who served in the National Guard, and also Cornwall-Lebanon School Board of School Directors. We also have several residents in our district who have served in World War II and we believe are with us today. Would you please raise your hand or stand as you are able? These are our World War II veterans that are with us today. Mr. Earl Yoder, United States Navy. Mr. Frank Stellar, United States Army. And Mr. Al Booth, United States Army. Thank you. Thank you very much for being with us today. And congratulations, Mr. Booth, on celebrating your 103rd birthday this last summer. What an honor it is to have you with us here today as we celebrate this Veterans Breakfast. Very honored by your presence. We have many district students and staff who have informed us that they have immediate family members who are currently serving in the military at home or abroad. About 111 of those students and family members are in attendance today. That represents 64 of the approximately 98 military families in the district of which we are aware. We are pleased that some of you are able to join us today as well. If you are one of our active duty guests, would you please rise? You're one of our active duty guests. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. We also have with us today are many of the district staff members who have informed us that they are veterans. Would the district staff members please rise and be recognized as well at this time? District staff members. And last but certainly not least, it gives us great pleasure to welcome our district veterans and their guests, representing all branches of the military and holding service records that include wars and conflicts during World War II, Korea, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom, the Gulf War, Afghanistan, and peacetime service. If you could please rise or wave so that we may honor your service to our country. We thank you all for coming this morning. And once again, very honored by your presence here today. It's also fitting that we pause for a moment and remember those who have served proudly and bravely and yet have gone ahead before us. Some with years of service and some maybe at a very young age. And so we do have set a missing man table in their remembrance on the stage near the flag. We could just take a moment of silence to honor their service with our memories. Thank you. In the past number of years, it has been our pleasure to introduce Cedar Crest High School seniors who have informed us that they have committed to begin military service following graduation this spring or awaiting decisions from military academies. This year, we have 9 seniors whose future plans include military service. Would you please come to the stage? We're going to ask them to come on up here. And I'll ask you to just stand to my right up here on the stage. I'm going to hand the microphone to each of them. And I'd like them to just introduce themselves and tell us about your plans. So tell us your name, your plans for military service, and anything else you'd like to share. Here we go.
Hi, my name's Peyton. I'm going into the Army. I should out June 20th. I chose the Army because they gave me the job I wanted, and like I want to do something with my life.
Hi, my name's Cooper. I plan on going to the Army under ROTC. I hope to go to either VMI or I've also been accepted into the Citadel. And I joined the Army because of my dad and multiple of my family members have been in the Army and served. And that's just why I chose it. And I want to thank all the veterans out there.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I plan on doing Army ROTC at either Temple or Penn State. And I wanted to do the military because it's family tradition and it's just a great career path. And I also want to thank all the veterans out there.
Hi, my name's Kyle. I'm joining the Marine Corps, and I don't have a ship date yet. And I chose it because most of my family has done the Marine Corps.
Hi, I'm Grayson. I chose the Navy for the travel and adventure, and I ship out July 11th.
Hello, my name is Leona. I'm enlisted in the Navy as a hospital corpsman. My shipment date is June 20 next year, and I chose the Navy because of the financial benefits for college.
My name is Lucas. I'm enlisted in the Navy as well. My shipment date is July 11th, and I chose to join the Navy because I want to serve our country, and they gave me the job I wanted.
My name is Chloe. I'm waiting to hear back from the Naval Academy and the Air Force Academy. I want to go into the military because I love my country and I want to serve, and I also want to be a fighter pilot. Thank you all for your service.
You know, we have there's a lot of pessimism out there about what the future of our country looks like. And I would suggest to people that This is the future of our country right here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your courage, your commitment to serve. We also know that several of your recruiters are here to support you as well. Could we have them please stand and be recognized? So thank you for being here. We also have another group that we'd like to recognize, and I want to hand the microphone over to this gentleman to talk. Together with Mrs. Guy Nash, Mr. Thompson, they serve as co-advisors to the Battle Buddies Club at Cedar Crest High School. Mr. Thompson is a veteran of the U.S. Army Airborne Infantryman and also a counselor at our high school. Mr. Thompson, would you please come up here and give us an update about the group's activities this year?
Thank you, Dr. Menzik. Before I get started, there was one senior who was unable to join us. I just make sure he gets recognized. Elias Perez is committed to the Marines. He was unable to join us this morning. Well, thank you for a few moments of your time. I just want to share about the group that helped serve you this morning with the middle school was the Battle Buddies, and that's kind of what we do. We're a service group where our primary mission is to help the veterans that are residing here in the VA. Before COVID, we used to go over once a month and just enjoy companionship with these ladies and these gentlemen and play games, do a craft, some kind of engagement with them where it was a way to connect the generation of old with the youth of today, just so they could remember and appreciate the sacrifice and the service of these men and women. COVID has kind of put a little hamper on things, but the VA has been great with working with us to find ways to kind of still engage with these veterans there. So some of our more recent activities included doing videos where we had our battle buddies tape Trivial Pursuit. So they would ask a question and they wait a few seconds and then give the response so that the therapist over there could go around to the veterans' rooms and show them what they're doing. Last year, a bunch of us got on camera with Mr. Hassler and crew, and we did some Christmas carols with a fun background that the VB team created for us and sent that over to there. And starting this month, we have 14 veterans over there that have identified to be part of our Pen Pal program. So we're going to go old school here and do a Pen Pal program, and the Battle Buddies have been anxiously waiting to do this. So we're going to write letters once a month back and forth, just to kind of connect the youth of today with some of these great heroes of the past. So we just thank you for your support. It's just a privilege to be up here sharing about what these young ladies and gentlemen are doing for our community.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Thank you for that update. We're proud of the efforts our students are taking to serve our veterans. It is my pleasure this morning to introduce our guest speaker today. And today's guest speaker is Colonel Frank X. Bryant, retired United States Marine Corps of Cornwall. Frank is also our current state representative for the 101st Legislative District in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. Elected to the Pennsylvania House of Representatives in 2016, Frank is a certified public accountant. He graduated summa cum laude from St. Mary's College, Mount St. Mary's College, and received his MBA from the University of Maryland. A retired Marine Reserve Colonel, Frank was recalled to active duty in December 2004 and served with multinational force Iraq until June 2005. Prior to his initial retirement in 2002, Frank served as a Central Command Special Operations Officer during Operation Enduring Freedom. Frank's prior military tours include Special Operations Officer attached to Special Operation Command, Commanding Officer, 4th Civil Affairs Group, Executive Officer, 4th Supply Battalion, and numerous other command and staff billets in the active and reserve components. His personal military decorations include 3 Legions of Merit, the Bronze Star Medal, the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, the Navy Commendation Medal, and the U.S. Army Commendation Medal. He is the extremely proud father of 4 wonderful children, 9 super grandchildren, and husband to his beautiful partner and wife, Sherry. please join me in welcoming our friend, Colonel Frank Ryan.
We've got to do this for my TikTok channel. I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask you if you don't mind. I need you to all sit back and say, Happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. I can't hear you. Happy Veterans Day. There we go. How many of you think I really have a TikTok channel? I don't, by the way. How many of you think I can get in enough trouble all by my lonesome without a TikTok channel? But I'm very impressed that you had two going into the Marine Corps. Elias was not here this morning. He's out on a 25-mile run. Steve, do you mind if I say that? I think you're correct. It's 26, though. 26, okay, yes. It's a marathon. For the Marine Corps, we gave him a mile off as a discount. I wanted to, first of all, thank all of the veterans that are here. And what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is as kind of a theme for this, I'd like to switch Veterans Day around just a little bit, because for those that are Vietnam veterans and Korea veterans, if I could ask you if you're able to stand up, or if you can't, please just raise your hand. Vietnam or Korea? And the reason, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, if you could give these folks a round of applause. Our nation was not always welcoming when people came home. And for our World War II veterans, if they didn't have enough points, they might not have gotten back until 1946. And when that would have happened, all the welcome home parades would have been done. And it's a major issue. What you've done today, what I'd like to reverse here a little bit, is to thank all of the young people in the school district, Dr. Domensik, for hosting this. You know, I have been very fortunate. I got called out of retirement right about this time in 2004. I get a phone call that said, Colonel Ryan, you've been recalled active duty, you're going to Iraq. And I said, you don't understand, I'm retired. And they said, you don't understand, you're leaving the day after Thanksgiving. And I found out later, by the way, that it was my wife who put them up to it. We can protect them and defend them for you. We have a freedom of speech. We have a freedom of assembly at any time from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. as we begin our workday. But we're willing to do that for our community and for our families. Whenever I hear someone tell me, thank you for your service, I want to reverse that today, if you don't mind. I want to say, I want to let you, and I think most of the veterans here will feel the same way, I want to thank you for allowing us to serve. And I think most veterans will tell you this, there's no greater honor and pleasure than to be able to serve our community. You know, we have the Pennsylvania National Guard, General Hilty. It's great to see you here again today. I mean that we served, well, I should say we served together. The General and I had a chance in Harrisburg to be able to run into each other, tremendously professional. When I tell people, we just saw the lottery was $1.5 billion, I guess it hit $1.9 billion. And a lot of people don't know this about me, but I won the lottery at one point in time. Does anybody else here win the lottery? So it was a draft lottery? Yeah, those of you that are not old enough to remember that, I'll explain what that is. That's when you get this phone call. Your friends and neighbors welcome you back to the military, and you can go in. But when we sit back and we recognize how much of an honor it is to be able to serve our community, think about what we have to be thankful for and what we're thankful for with us, with our community. One, it means we're healthy enough to be able to serve. What a great gift that God's given each and every one of us. We have an opportunity to serve our communities who care so much. I'm an immigrant to Cornwall-Lebanon School District. I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Yes, I'm still a Baltimore Orioles fan. That means that I have all of my Octobers free. If you're familiar with the Orioles, you know what that's all about. But I tell you, when I was first enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1969, if you didn't want to go on active duty, if you didn't want to go to Vietnam, you joined the National Guard and Reserves. Nothing could be further from the truth today. You should be so incredibly proud of our National Guard and our reserve forces. How many of you are in the Pennsylvania Guard or in the reserve forces? God bless you all. And the number of women that we have in the military is larger than it's ever been. I remember when I was in Iraq, we had one of the first combat missions, and when I left active duty, we didn't have that many women in combat units, but when I went back in, we did. And when you hear a woman's voice on the radio, when you're first talking, you go, pardon me? And then you realize where you are and things have changed. We have so much to be proud of with the great sacrifice of the men and women of the Pennsylvania Guard. As soon as I got to Iraq in 2004, I was met up with members of the Pennsylvania Guard. They were on duty in the embassy and other parts of Iraq. They did a phenomenal job. They took me under their wing because they had been there a lot longer than I had been. I actually replaced some of them. We're tremendously proud of the sacrifice of the Pennsylvania National Guard. But you know the sacrifice that I'm most proud of is for the husbands and wives and the children of those who deployed. And that's who I would like us to recognize today, if you don't mind. Is anyone in here a child of someone who's a veteran or someone who has served? Could you please stand up? Guys, thank you for being here today. Can we give them a round of applause? When we get called up, I often said this to my wife. When I'm overseas in a combat zone, we know we're safe, or we know we're not. I mean, there are times when things don't go as we would like them to go. But we know where we are. Our families don't. Our children really don't. And that can be a difficult thing for a youngster to process. So I just want you to know how proud we are of each one of the spouses that stayed behind and hold the family together. I remember when I got back, I'd been gone for about 7 months, and I decided I was going to reassert myself in the Ryan household. Yeah, all the women are laughing because you know where this is going to end up. It's not a good ending. And I walked in, and as soon as I walked in, I said to my wife, I said, "What are you making for dinner?" And she looked at me with this steely-eyed stare, and she said, "Reservations." And as soon as she did that, I knew I was home, and that my proper place as second in the position in the Ryan family was reasserted. By the way, I'd like to be second at this point in time, because when you've got kids, grandkids, and dogs, I'm not even in the top 50 at this point. But when we're away, we know that you're back here taking care of everything. And for that, we're entirely grateful. Because you've never lived until you've been in a combat zone and you've seen someone who's been distracted by things that were not going well at home, and how much of a risk that they put themselves and others in when that happens. So for the spouses of those who have been veterans or are currently serving, if we can ask the spouses to please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, here are some real heroes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, you know, as we look at this Veterans Day, 1% of our population is currently serving. Many of them are on these holiday seasons away from their families. They'll miss Thanksgiving. They'll miss Christmas. They'll miss New Year's. And it's a sacrifice that each and every one of them and us want to make to show you how grateful and honored that we are to say that we're part of such a wonderful, caring community that would do this. And for the entire Cornwall-Lebanon School District, I want to say God bless you for doing this. Thank you for the honor. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. And most importantly, when you heard the rendition of the Star Spangled Banner this morning, that was almost as well done as when Francis Scott Key and I wrote that back in 1812. Now, you guys did a great job, so God bless you. Thank you so much. Happy Veterans Day. I found out that's the last time I'm being invited back.
Thank you, Colonel Ryan. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for your service to our country and also for sharing that message with today, entertaining as ever. So thank you very much. We'd like to now invite Cedar Crest High School Concert Choir to return to the stage for our next selection.
And he will be giving you some instructions to recognize all of the branch services as we proceed with this last piece. Thank you again.
We would like to recognize each branch of service individually. Before each song is sung, I will announce the name of the branch of service. If you served in that branch, please stand to be recognized if you are able to do so. The branch songs in order of performance are Army, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy, and the Air Force. At the end of the song, all service members will be invited to stand to be recognized. Thank you, veterans, for your service to our country. Army.
First
Coast Guard.
We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in Thee. Through howling gale and shot and shell to win the victory. Semper Baptist is our guide, our pledge, our motto too. We're always ready, do or die. I Coast Guard, we fight for you.
Navy.
Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Farewell to college joys. We sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, hail to the foam, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
Air Force.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one terrible roar. We live in fame, or we're down in flame, where nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. America, America, God shed His grace on me.
Would all veterans please rise and be recognized?
Oh, beautiful for heroes prove in liberating strife, who more than self their country love, and mercy more than life. America, America, thank God thy glory find, till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. America,
Thank you, Mrs. Rochuk, our concert choir, for that tribute. It is always one of our favorites here. Our final tribute this morning is from our students in all grades, kindergarten through 5th grade at South Lebanon Elementary School, and our teacher advisor, Mrs. Blythe Heisey. If you notice on the tables in front of you, there are handmade cards on your table from those students, and they've created them for you over the past several weeks. So please take one of those with you. Those are for our veterans. We'd also like to have a very special thanks to the VFW 23 for their Honor Guard service. They are actually on funeral duty at the National Cemetery at Fort Indian Town Gap this week. And so we're very fortunate that they could be here because their services were not required. And we're very grateful that you're able to participate in our program today. So thank you for being here. Always a privilege to have you here with us. We do hope that everyone has enjoyed our program this morning. We hope that you will return next year. And before we leave today, Would you please stand as you are able for the retiring of the colors and remain standing for the playing of taps. Thank you. Please travel safely home. Thank you for coming.